In our time, days come and days go. Time mystifies us by soaring right past. But during the early parts of my childhood, it seemed as if time crawled past me slower than a snail. I had the ability to enjoy every waking moment with the splendor and spry that my tiny 3-foot body could muster. I had everything I wanted: a great home, fantastic parents, and remarkable friends. It was like I was the top rock star, and everyone else were my groupies. But as all good things must come to an end, so did my 3 years of fame. Everything came to a drastic halt when my parents announced that the stork had delivered a tiny package to our family. From then on, my mother's stomach began to grow and grow, and I was hearing that a new edition was on its way. I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. It was a hard thought to process in my wee, underdeveloped mind. After dwelling on the situation night after night, all I could think was that I was being thrown away, and this shiny new model was taking my place. At 4 a.m., the morning of May 30th, 1990, I was woken up with a sudden and forceful shake. My father was talking and said that it was time for my mother and that I needed to head over to my friend's house. I heard about half of what he said due to my lackluster ability to wake myself up, but overall, I just hopped out of bed and marched over to the house next door. From then on, I plummeted back to sleep in this new environment I had just been relocated to. When I arose several hours later, I was beckoned to the phone by the parents of my friend. As my ear cupped the speaker, I could hear a shrill of crying in the background. Then a familiar face began to speak. It was my father. He told me that now I have a baby sister. Instead of having the rather gloom expectations of my condition before this event, I was entirely ecstatic for some reason. I was leaping up and down and shrieking at the top of my lungs that now I have a sister. Later on that day, my dad picked me up from my friend's house, and I had the opportunity to visit my new baby sister in the hospital. It was quite the joyous occasion. Before meeting the new sibling, I felt that my life was complete. But now, it actually felt entirely complete. From that day on, my sister and I have had this matching polarity relationship. It's like we're each a magnet, but they're the same polarity, so when we get close to each other, we always end up apart. Overall, it's not such a horrible thing. It's just that we have never been able to develop as tight-knit of relationship as other siblings have. In the long run, it's always delightful though. I am more the artistic type, and she happens to be more the bookworm type. It's sort of a yin and yang combination, because we help each other out with our different abilities. Through the passing of years, both of us have had different experiences. Some were bad, some were good. But in the end, all that matters is that we got to appreciate each other on an entirely new level. We have been able to make each other laugh, cry, and be grateful for having someone to stand by in times of need. Taken as a whole, I would never give up the joyous feeling of having a sibling to connect with. Even though we don't agree all the time, I love her, and I wish the best for her now and for the future.